Good morning and welcome to the Blue Line Metals Edge here for Tuesday, August 16th. I'm Phillip Streible, Chief Market Strategist at Blue Line Futures. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to our videos. YouTube will notify you when a new video has been posted. If you need additional information, please go to our website, www.bluelinefutures.com. Be sure to register for a free 2-week trial of Morning Express or any of the other commodity reports that we put out. This is a newer report that I want to outline, the Tactical Insights, making a couple small changes to it, but other than that, you got global equity markets all under pressure today. You also have metals under pressure. A little bit of a bid on the crude oil market as there's a lot of discussion about European energy costs continuing to go up. So we should catch a small bid in the energy prices here today. And then same thing with natural gas up substantially higher. Precious metals, like I said, across the board weaker. All your equities significantly weaker as well. You had some economic data that came out, and basically across the board, doesn't matter where you're at, globally, we're continuing to see quite a bit of weakness. You look at a lot of the data that came out last night, like Germany's data was much weaker. PPI, this is out of Swiss, they were weaker. You look at your Canadian data, that's all weaker as well. In the U.S., our housing data was much weaker as well. Building permits were a little bit better, and I am doing this ahead of the industrial production data, so that might change some of the markets here. I'm going to start outlining on the report some of the economic data releases that are globally that I think will impact the metals markets, as well as we're just going to make a table here with today's probable ranges. The probable ranges are based off of yesterday's data, and they calculate with an algorithm where we should be at here today, what your probable downside risk is, or downside range, what your upside range is. If a market moving headline comes out, if the Fed makes an announcement, if something like China cutting rates, they're going to throw off the previous days because it's not factored into it. We'll have new refreshed ones that we're going to send out, refreshed probable ranges that will update here throughout the day once there's a market moving event that throws off these particular ranges. Otherwise, you can use these ranges to trade around using the current trend that we identify with our longer term system. Also, we'll provide you with trend reversal points. So on gold, your reversal point, 8 possible suggestions, since we are bullish on gold for the longer term trend, would be buying at this price level here, trying to sell at this price level here. These are going to work well with your inside day trading ranges. Looking at the chart here, we flagged resistance on the upside right in this range. This is where we kind of fell apart. Support's going to be down here, and we're actually pressing lower. So we'll see if this support level holds. We don't want to see it close below here because the market might roll back over to the downside. We can already see stochastics. They are overbought and they are starting to correct. And that's a likely theme on most of the other commodities out there, and specifically the metals market. So looking at some key fundamentals and takeaways, dollar remains your favorable safe haven play. It's pressuring precious metals and also the commodities. If you look down here, I've got a chart of the dollar index, and you can see that it's turning up and it's gaining momentum. So don't be surprised if you don't see the system back flip. Once we start closing above like 107, you're going to see it'll go dollar bullish, euro bearish. So the dollar went bearish because of this breakdown in the trend, and it was specifically right in this range here in the break below the 50-day moving average, had flipped the trend to more negative. Now we got this reversal back. It's just the dollar index just appears to be more of the safe haven play. We're also seeing this level out on the Fed. Probability of a 50 basis rate hike versus a 75, it's getting closer to 50-50. I'm going to update that every day as it becomes more fluid, and then coming back to where we're at here on some other markets. The silver market running right into resistance right at this level, and we're correcting back lower. I flag this as critical support, and we're correcting from overbought on your stochastics, and the strength of this uptrend is weakening. So that appears to be a bit of a problem. If you see DMI minus crossover DMI plus, that'll also gain some more negative momentum as well. I am mapping out where the system is at, long or short, and we're just going to update it, use settlement data every day on this, and it's going to flag the 1,000 ounce contract, the 100 ounce contract on gold, and then also on copper and platinum. So you could see that gold-silver ratio starting to go up. So silver's losing some momentum, and it's been hugging this 50-day moving average. We might see silver prices, if they accelerate lower, you might see this push back up, this gold-silver ratio back up to the highs. Looking at the copper market, it did break and it failed at the 50-day moving average. You could see that there's no real trend right here. We're starting to consolidate, but we are correcting from the stochastics from overbought territory. The strength of this upward movement has been declining right here. You're going to see on the chart here today, copper is one of the more supportive metals. It was just in positive territory, but it's mainly because of the fact you had the LME. They came out and they have now 2 straight days of declines as far as stockpiles. So that's why that copper is a little bit stronger, only just a touch stronger, not significantly stronger. Going to the futures performance, something I wanted to point out was that if you look at the 1-month relative performance, and you go to some of these metals, I mean, palladium up 16%, and they were up a lot more than that just a couple days ago. Same thing with copper, platinum up. It was up like 15%. Your gold was up like 6%, and your silver was up about 10%. So, of course, when they go up in a month that much, unless there's continuous snowball effect of some kind of underlying news, and the acceleration of that underlying news continues to get, better or worse, you're going to see those trends. You're going to see them start to cool off. So I think that's what's really going on here in a lot of these markets. If you switch it to like more of a 15-minute chart, you could see some of these breakdowns occurring. You could see where we had run up quite a bit. Even if you go to like a 60-day, you'll start to see that turning point here and what's kind of driving that turning point. So those are about all the things I wanted to cover here real quick. I updated all these slides here, so your volume, your correlation matrix. So yeah, you could see that some of these things where you look at like a silver copper correlation, and you could see that if you come right here, it's about a 50% correlation here. That's on a 30-day correlation. So it's not entirely helping. It's not like how it was 90% before. So you're going to see more of this gold-silver correlation. It's 85% right now. And it's been 75% on the last 30 days. So you get weakness in gold, you're going to get weakness in silver, and copper's not really helping it out with it bumping up a bit. So volume a little bit weaker across the board in all the asset classes. And on the weekly, that volume's really come out. So that tells me that there's a lot of profit taking that's been going on from that recent run up. So those are the things you want to look at here today. Again, economic data coming out in about 10 minutes, probably going to move the market some more. Other than that, I'll be updating from back in Chicago. If you have any questions on futures option trading, give us a call, 312-858-7303. Remember, futures and option trading does involve risk of loss, may not be suitable to all investors. Good luck, good trading.